Today in math, we are going to continue working on our algebra by looking at sheet 11.8 called the distributive property. Why is it called that? I don't know. We don't really need to worry about that. We need to know actually how to do that. But before I actually do that, yesterday you guys struggled a little bit with like terms. So I do want to go back to like terms, just do one for you. The last question was question 18, and a lot of you kind of struggled with that. So this is from sheet 11.7, where it's 8y minus 7x plus 2y minus x. So they're asking you to simplify and then evaluate where x equals 3, y equals 2. So let's start with simplifying. I have 8y, and then I have a plus 2y. So that gives me 10y. And now I have a negative 7 or a minus 7x and a minus x, which is a 1. So I have minus 7 minus 1, which would give me minus 8x. And I know that's where a lot of you were getting confused. You cannot forget the symbol in front of it. That's the whole term. Okay? So now I'm using these. So 10 times 2 and 8 times 3. 20 minus 24. I have negative 4. I don't know if I told you if you could have negative numbers or not, but you can. So there we go. Okay. Let's take a look at the distributive property. So the distributive property is actually a little bit opposite from what we were doing yesterday. So yesterday, when we're working on like terms, we saw the word simplify. So we said that it's shorter or smaller. Today, in the distributive property, I'm just kind of got the DP, we're doing the opposite. We are going to be expanding. It's going to ask you on the sheet, if you have it in front of you, it says expand. So to expand is the opposite of shorter or smaller. It's to make bigger. I know. Algebra can just never make up their mind. But that's what we're going to be working on today. So we're going to be taking these and we're going to make them bigger. So again, a reminder, we are working on algebraic expressions, not algebraic equations. So we're not actually solving anything right now. And there are no equal signs. Just like this assignment here, like terms, there's no equal sign. Okay, now this is a little bit different because we did this, but the simplifying part. All right. So let's take a look at sheet 11.8, and let's start with number 19. For the sake of space, I'm going to put it right here. So we have 3x plus 6 is in brackets. The distributive property is always dealing when you have brackets. That's just the whole mathematical theory on it. So you can't do any distributive property if you have no brackets. So all of these questions, if you take a look at the sheet, they all have brackets. Now, in algebra, what we want to do is we want to get rid of those brackets. We want to get rid of them. But you can't do x plus 6. Okay, that's not 6x. This is not a like term. Okay? So how do you get rid of the bracket? The bracket you get rid of by using distributive property, where you are going to take everything inside the bracket and multiply it by what's in front of it. So I'm going to do 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times positive 6. It's a like term. I need to remember the positive or minus, which is positive 18. And that's my answer. I've expanded it. Now, some of you might say, that's not any longer or shorter, but that's mathematical. That's what we call expanding. It's bigger. That's it. I don't do anything else. That's all we're doing on this sheet. The distributive property. We're getting rid of the brackets. All right. Let's take a look at number 21. Number 21 is 7y minus 3 Distributive property, 7 times y is 7y. 7 times minus 3 is minus 21. That's my answer. That's it. Now, those are the easy ones. Let's move on down to number 27. Number 27, we have 3 and then 4z plus 3. Again, the distributive property is just get rid of the brackets. 3 times 4z is 12z. 3 times positive 3 is plus 9. That's it. I'm done. That's all I have to do. Okay. Moving on to number 30 because it can get a little bit complicated. We'll go 30 over here. So number 30, negative 2. And then in brackets is 1 plus 6d. So again, I'm going to multiply everything in the brackets by what's out. But now you have a negative 2. So now I have negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times a positive 6d. Negative times a positive is a negative. 2 times 6 is 12. So my answer is negative 2 minus 12d. This is so important, understanding that, because this is where most of my students get tripped up when we get to larger questions. You have to recognize that the part of the term is the positive 6d, not just 6d. Okay? So your assignment today is to work on numbers 19 to 36 on sheet 11.8 and take the quiz.